After several deliveries that we had to cross alien terrain for, it was nice to have a client actually meet us at the ship for pickup. We didn't even have to leave the spaceport, small though it was.
"I can't wait to try this out,"
said the green lizardly guy as he tapped away at the payment tablet.
"The advertising promises it will repel any small pest with a sense of hearing, and the last 3 repellents we tried did nothing."
I asked, what kind of pest? Was I about to find a hard downside to meeting someone right outside the airlock? I really didn't want any kind of infestation on our ship. The guy handed the tablet back and gestured vaguely.
"Round fairy things. I don't know what planet they're from, but they could easily overrun this one if we don't get a handle on the situation fast. The colony's already having to keep every window and door shut, but they slip through the tiniest cracks. At least they're wildly coloured and easy to spot before they eat all of your food."
Moore tentacle walked over with the package, holding it up like he was a squid-shaped butler with a tray of champagne. He gave me a look as the client snatched it up eagerly.
"Well, animal expert," he asked me, "any insights?"
I shrugged. Sounds like rodents from Earth, though ours aren't usually wildly coloured. And I have my doubts that a product exists that makes noises to repel every kind of pest, especially without also repelling the people who set it up. The client was already ripping open the box.
"Gonna find out. I see a few of the fuzzy little foothies over there."
He jerked his snout toward a cluster of bushes at the edge of the landing pad. I thought the puffs of colour on the ground were other plants, but now that I really looked, they were moving. All in wild pinks and blues, too. Exceptionally fluffy. Paint came trotting up. "The captain says we should close the door as soon as possible. Apparently there's a known pest in the spaceport." "Oh, hi," she greeted the client as an afterthought. He mumbled something polite back, more interested in getting the gadget to work than in greeting another of his own species. He hadn't stepped back far enough for us to shut the door yet. Moore peered past him suspiciously.
"Did those things come here by stowing away on another ship?"
"Probably," the client said. Then something clicked.
"Aha!"
There might have been a noise. I couldn't really tell. General spaceport sounds and local breeze made a background ambience, but I kind of felt like there was something I should have been able to hear. Almost. A glance at Paint and Murr showed similar non-reactions. The fuzzballs by the bush did nothing.
"What is that sound?"
demanded Z, sticking his bug eyes around the corner. He had his pinchers clenched and his posture lower than usual, like he was crouching to make the sound quieter. I still didn't know where his ears were.
"Kindly stop it."
"Sorry." The client produced another click, apparently turning it off.
"At least I know that it came fully charged. I'll go test it on the fuzzball invasion."
Z had already picked up a foreleg to continue down the hallway, but he paused at that.
"What kind of fuzzballs?"
The client launched into an explanation, but I just pointed at the bush. "Those things over there. Lots of them, apparently." Z hurried over for a look, nearly knocking Paint off her feet. He sounded absolutely delighted when he exclaimed,
"This planet has Egg Day?"
Blank looks all around. I asked, "Egg Day?" He clicked a pincher arm and spoke quietly, like he was explaining something blindingly obvious that we should all know.
"Mesmer holiday. The fuzz eggs emerge all at once. The first wave, anyway, and culling the population is great sport."
He addressed the client with an intense look.
"These are an invasion you like to be rid of, yes?"
"Yes," the client said in surprise.
"They're..."
Z was already turning away from him and talking to Moore.
"Tell the captain to wait a little. We're not in a hurry."
He looked at Paint.
"Don't tell Trilly."
Then he dashed out onto the landing pad, purple exoskeleton gleaming in the sun, a spectacle of predatory joy. I made a step towards the hallway at one point, with thoughts of putting the payment tablet away, and an ominous voice hissed over my shoulder.
"Don't tell Trilly what?"
I flinched a little and pretended I hadn't. Hi there. Something about Egg Day? The tilt of her antenna and the flare of glossy black mandibles looked offended.
And he wanted a head start? The cheater!
She launched herself past all of us in a whirlwind of black and red. Paint thumped against the wall and the client nearly dropped the gadget. Outside, Z already had a pile of crumpled furballs at his feet, and he was excavating the bushes for more. Trilly charged past him to upend a wheeled cart and exposed the cluster of rainbow fur underneath. She put her praying mantis pinchers to their intended purpose, all the while bickering with Z about unsporting head starts. The rest of us stared from the doorway.
Oh my, said the client.
Mur picked up some stray packing foam and handed it to him to put back in the box.
Those two ought to make a dent in your infestation, he said, and I dare say we can pass the word on to any other mesmers nearby to come join the fun, depending on the scale of the problem.
That might be a good idea. Thank you.
Eskin appeared with a medkit, looking concerned.
What's happening? I heard something about wanton violence.
I hurried to reassure them. Nothing to worry about, just pest control. And competition, apparently. Eskin peered outside, shading their pale-scaled face from the sun.
Oh, Egg Day!
Paint demanded, You know about that?
Sure, it's a mesmer holiday,
Eskin said, setting down the medkit.
Looks like somebody accidentally introduced the Fuzz-Eggs here, huh? They leave egg cases in every hiding place they can find, and you usually don't suspect a thing until they emerge all at once like that. Good thing we brought a couple of Egg Day veterans with us.
The client was still clutching the box of electronics, wide-eyed.
They mentioned calling in more? Probably wise, Eskin said. We'll have to be on our way before too long.
They picked up the medkit again.
Speaking of which, I should make sure we have enough storage space in the refrigeration unit, since they'll want to eat every one of those.
I shook my head. This is a far cry from Easter when I was a kid, though we did get to eat the hard-boiled eggs, and the ones that had candy inside. None of those took much of a battle to open, though. Well, except for the really little kids who weren't strong enough yet. Paint looked up at me in consternation. Your species has the same violent holiday as theirs? Ours isn't violent, I said. Unless kids fight over who saw an egg first, I guess. And there is that one noteworthy bit of lore that features a violent death, but that's just part of the story behind it all. The actual event is totally different from this. I watched my co-workers seek out brightly coloured round things in every little crevice about the spaceport. Totally different.